Hi everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. I am Ruth Norton with Ruth's Stamping Corner, and I have a super cute card to share with you guys today. Look at this sweet little card we're going to make. It's a little spinner card. We're going to use some brand new dies, a brand new stamp set, and you could just have hours of fun with this card. And there's so many possibilities with this card, or with this whole die set, which we're going to talk about in a minute, but it's so cute. So hang with me. We're going to make this. I'm going to show you how easy it is with our new dies. We're going to make it. Before we get to the card though, just a few things I want to remind you guys of. Don't forget about our Connect, Craft, and Collect promotion. This is for people placing large orders. If your order's over $250 or more, you're going to get additional Stampin' Rewards. Now, if you don't want to put in that large of an order all by yourself, but you still want to get some extra rewards, gather up some friends. You guys can pull your orders together, put them together, and then you can still get all those extra rewards. You get Stampin' benefits or Stampin' Rewards starting at $150. You get 10%, and then once you hit that $250 level, you still get 10%, and then you're going to get an additional $25. So this is a great time to really stock up on all of those products that you really want, and get your friends involved too. You never know how high your Stampin' Rewards can go, and I'd be happy to talk to you more about that. You can contact me. I can set up host codes. We can figure out a whole plan to get all of those extra rewards. So just send me a message, contact me. Okay, so if you do have a long wish list, you've been considering joining Stampin' Up, this is a fantastic time. I'd love to have you on my team. When you join this month, the kit is $99, your starter kit, and you get to choose $155 in product. Normally you only get to choose $125, which is still a great deal, but the $155 is such a phenomenal deal. It's so good. So don't miss out. If you're thinking about joining Stampin' Up, $99, you choose $155 in product, you get free business supplies, free shipping, free paper pumpkin. It's well over $200 worth of product in that starter kit for only $99. So don't wait. This is a great time to join. This is only good through May 31st, so don't wait. Join today. It's a fantastic time to join. I'd love to have you on my team. All right, guys, today is the first day of the subscription period for June's Paper Pumpkin. So you need to subscribe by June. This is not the first day. This is May 12th, isn't it? Yesterday was the first day. You need to subscribe by June 10th if you want June's Paper Pumpkin. This is going to be an exclusive kit that comes in an exclusive box. Every time we have an exclusive paper pumpkin box, the kids just go crazy. I love this box though. This box is gorgeous. I love it. There's going to be 9 cards, 9 envelopes, and it includes an exclusive stamp set and 2 ink spots. So not one, we're going to get 2. Features the new in colors, and it coordinates with the expressions in ink suite. So I think this is going to be a phenomenal paper pumpkin. I cannot wait for this one. The May paper pumpkins are already starting to ship. I've already seen some of those in my customer list that have already started to ship, so I'm really excited. We'll get May's kit very soon. If you want June's though, make sure you subscribe by June 10th. It's a phenomenal deal. Love it. Okay. All right, guys, are we ready? We're ready to make our super cute card. Now we're going to do all the die cutting first. So this is our little card. Isn't it cute? So it spins. Now let me show you this card, or this whole thing in the catalog. I wanted to show it to you in the catalog first. And yeah, it would have been super helpful if I had had that prepared. Let me find the dies. These dies do not coordinate with any specific, let's see, page 57. These dies don't coordinate with a specific stamp set, but they do have them pictured in the catalog. So let me show you. They have them pictured with the stamp set down here, with the Stellar Birthday stamp set, which is super cute. And this is how they have it used up here. So they have like the little planets there. When you spin it, you can, it rotates to the little dog, the rocket ship. You can see how that works. You can really customize this to any stamp set you want. Again, the dies are a standalone dies. They're not part of any bundle. I am using the dies with the Peekaboo Farm today. I love this stamp set. I've been playing with it quite a bit. The little critters, they are so cute. So we're going to use this one today. The greeting is cute too. Life is better with you. I thought that went really good as you rotated through the animals. So let me show you the dies. These are the They are called Give It A Whirl Dies. They are phenomenal. Now, I've made spinner cards in the past. I didn't have dies to do it, so there was a lot of finding the right size circle die, getting the little notch cut out. It was a whole ordeal. These dies make it super easy. I'm telling you, these are fantastic. So this is the die that's going to create this outside piece. This is the Bermuda Bay piece. This is going to cut that notch right here so you can spin your wheel. And it's also going to create the little hole for the brad. Okay. Then you have multiple window pieces. So you have all of these little window pieces. This one would be a little scalloped. You can put it around that one, but you have multiple window pieces. We're going to use this one today. This like quarter circle one we're going to use today, but you'll see that they all have little holes in them, and that is to line those holes up with that hole that's going to die cut. And then that will make sure that your window, wherever you want to put it, you can put them anywhere, but wherever you want to put it, it's going to be perfectly aligned. I'll show you more of that in a second when we get to that. Let me get all these put away. We're also going to use this little die for the arrow. You can see I put a little arrow on here, and that just indicates to whoever is getting this card how to turn it. So we have a little arrow here that we're going to use that die, and of course we need our wheel die. So this cuts the beautiful scalloped wheel, cuts the little brad hole, everything you need. So you can see how many dies come in here though. It's a huge mega set, and you can really customize it to all you want. These little clouds here are phenomenal. I've been using those a lot. These stars are beautiful. Anyway, everything is stitched too. You know how we all love stitch stuff. So these are the dies we're going to use, and we're actually going to start with all of our die cutting. So for our outside piece, I have a piece of Bermuda Bay. That is going to be this piece right here. We're going to fit that on there. This is about a quarter sheet, so about 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock. So we're going to cut that out on there. For our wheel piece, I'm actually using some thick basic white. You can cut it out of anything. We're going to do some Stampin' Blend coloring on it, so I want to go with white. But because it's going to be handled a lot and turned, I wanted to make sure that we use the thicker cardstock. So we're going to use the thick basic white for this, and then we're going to have to come back in and cut that window. So we're going to die cut that one twice. And then for our little arrow, I'm just going to use a small piece of the polished pink. But before I run it through, I want it to be a little darker than my card base. My card base is going to be polished pink, but I want my arrow to stick out just a little bit. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Blends. This is my dark polished pink Stampin' Blends, and I'm just going to color that a little bit. And that's going to give us a little bit darker shade of pink there, so it's going to stand out a little bit better. It's easier to do this when you have a little scrap of cardstock than trying to color the little tiny arrow itself. So we're going to die cut that. So let me get out, move all of our dies out of the way. Now that we kind of have an idea what we're doing, we'll pull in our cut and emboss machine, and let's get this stuff cut. Now you have to use the big one, the big cut and emboss machine. This is when, you know, I'm a big fan of the mini, but it will not fit everything on this card. So we're going to die cut this guy, and I'm going to put him in at an angle just to, it cuts better. Rectangles or squares cut better when you put them in at an angle. And I'm also going to die cut our little arrow here. And here's my top plate. Okay, so let's die cut this one first. The Bermuda Bay piece, this big piece that we're cutting, that is also going to leave stitching, which is so cute. Okay, so we're going to set aside our little arrow piece. You can see that how it cut all that out. We're going to use the bigger arrow, but I'm just going to set that aside so we don't lose it. All right, so you can see how we have this panel cut, and we have our little hole die cut too. So I hope you can see that. All right, now we're going to stick that panel die aside. Now we're going to line up, this is going to be our window. We're going to line this up. We're going to line up the little hole, and this one I am going to use some Post-it tape just to hold it in place. And I'm going to just hold it up just so I can make sure that it's nice and lined up. So I'm going to put it roughly in the same position that I have it on my card, but you could absolutely turn it anywhere. You can have the window down here, you can have it over here, you can have the window anywhere, and the same goes for any of these other ones. If you wanted a heart window, if you wanted that right in the center, you could do that. You just need to just line up this circle with your die cut circle on the panel that you've already cut. So we're going to put this in here, and then we're going to cut our wheel too. We should be able to cut both of them all at once. Okay, this, and then we'll be done with our die cutting. Just gonna run this through, and we are done. Let's fold up our machine. We'll move that out of the way. We have all of our pieces here. So we have our wheel with a perfectly aligned center dot for our brad, and then we have our panel here. And so you can see that this will just line up. You line up that little hole in there. This will line up perfectly, and everything will spin. So fantastic! It's so brilliantly designed. I just love how easy they have made this all for us. So let me get all of this out of the way. Move our dies. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera, but you can see that our die has been segmented into 3 different segments. So that leaves an impression on the paper as you die cut it. So I'm actually going to use those guides to stamp all my little critters. So we're going to do the stamping next. We're going to set this aside, but you can see how we have our perfectly aligned window stitched around it. Great. Okay, so let's do our stamping. I do want to grab some Post-its. I just have my little book of Post-its here. So I'm going to grab a couple of Post-its, and just along those lines, I'm going to mask it off. I really only want to stamp in the little triangle. So I'm just going to mask that off, and we're going to go around and stamp all of our critters. So I have the little cow, the little pig, I have some Memento ink, and then I need to get one more animal out of here. But I wanted to show you, with our new photopolymer stamp set, when you purchase a new photopolymer stamp set, the images are printed in the back. Now they're not going to be stuck on the back when you get them. They are still going to come on a sheet, but you can peel them off and just stick them onto the back, and you're ready to go. So I love that about our new photopolymer images. So I love that they're just all in one place in your case. You can easily see if you're missing anything. I just love it. So, all right, we're going to start with any of the animals. It doesn't matter what order. It doesn't matter. Now, if you were doing a different stamp set, maybe you're doing like a greeting or something, and you were stamping greetings all around. Now, that definitely would matter, the order. This one, I'm not too concerned about the order. And you can see that he's getting his little hoofs masked off. That's okay. We really only want his little face, and I stamped that a little low, but that's okay. We'll just have to work with it. We'll color him cute. I wanted a little more of his neck showing, but that's okay. All right, so I'm moving on to the next one, and we'll use the little pig this time. We'll leave a little bit more of him showing. There we go. The Post-its really just kind of help you guide exactly where to stamp it. I'll just line this one up, and I have the little sheep, or the little ram, and there we go. So we're just going to peel off our Post-it notes, and we have all of our little guys all stamped perfectly. All right, as long as we're stamping, let's just go ahead and finish the rest of our stamping. So let me move my Post-its out of the way. We don't need those. Okay, so we're going to stamp on here. I do not have any grid paper. Let me grab. I just want a little bit of scrap paper behind. I have the little cloud from the Peekaboo Farm stamp set, the little cloud down here. We're going to stamp that in Bermuda Bay, just on the top half of our little piece here. So I'm just going to go through, just randomly stamping this. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. This is not our focal image, so it's just Bermuda Bay ink on Bermuda Bay cardstock. Perfect. I think I'm going to stop there. All right, and then I have a piece of white, and I believe this is about 3/4 of an inch tall. It's just a scrap of white, and I'm going to stamp our greeting on this. We're going to trim it down, but I'm just going to stamp our greeting. Life is better with you. Super cute. All right, all of our stamping is done. We do have a little bit of coloring to do. So I'm going to move all of our inks out of the way. Okay, let me get out everything we're coloring with. We'll start with our little pig, because I have the pinks already out. So we're going to color him in polished pink. So let me just open up my Stampin' Blends here. Now I'm just going to go darker on the sides of them. I'm just going to kind of do an outline. I'm going to color them all pretty much the same. Just kind of do the sides, do the top, inside of his ears. And then I'm just going to go in with the light and just kind of blend all of that out. Just make sure you're coloring all the way down to the little point of that segment there. All right, just going to color. I thought about coloring everything in advance so you guys wouldn't have to watch it all, but it's actually kind of quick coloring, so I figured we'd just leave it in. All right, we're just going to give him a quick color, just making sure we're trying to blend out those darker areas. I'm leaving his nose for right now. Just go in here, try to blend that out a little more. And his side right here. Okay. I want his nose to be, let me pull in our little critter here. I wanted his nose to be a little darker, so I'm just going to use the dark on his nose. Just like that. All right. Super cute. There's our little piggy. All right, so let's turn our wheel. Let's see what's next. We have our cow next. Perfect. For the cow, I just used crumb cake. So I'm going to start with the dark. I like to keep them both open just so I can switch back and forth easily. So I'm really only coloring his spots. So I'm giving him some dark on the bottom of this spot. His horns, I'm just coloring with the dark. We're not going to do any blending on his horns. And then down here, I'm giving him a little bit of dark. Okay, we're just going to blend that out. Just kind of work into his ear where it's a little lighter. Okay. All right, so that is our little cow. I'm going to pull in my color lifter though with my light. Just going to kind of go around his nose here along the bottom. And then I'm going to use my color lifter and just blend that out. And that's just going to add a little bit of color to his nose, but it's not going to make his nose super brown. And we'll go in with the dark and just fill in his little nostrils just like that. Okay, so that's our cow. All right, I'm going to need that, so I'm going to leave that out. And, oh, did you guys see what I did? Oh my gosh, put the white lid on the crumb cake. All right, so let's turn our little arrow here, and we have our little sheep. So for my sheep, I'm going to use Petal Pink for his face, and then I'm just going to do some highlights on his horns with the Smoky Slate. So I'm going to start with his face with the Petal Pink. Okay, so his ears right here under his wool, and then right here under his wool is going to be darker too, so I'm going to use the dark there on his other ear, and then just kind of along the bottom of his face. That's really the only places I'm using the dark. I'm going to go in with my light Petal Pink and just blend that out. I'm leaving his wool white, but we are going to add a little bit of shading to it, just so that it doesn't look like we forgot to color it or forgot to touch it. Okay, so there's his face. Close up these blends. All right, now for his horns, I'm going to use the dark and let's see, go around each of these little, I don't know what you call this, just around those little draw lines that the artist has put in. That's with the dark. And then with the light Smoky Slate, we're just going to go around his fur just a little bit, or not his fur, his wool. Sheep don't have fur. Okay, with the color lifter again, I'm just going to go over all of those areas and just kind of soften it. The horns are going to stay darker with those darker lines, but it's just going to soften those harsh lines. And then we're going to go in on the wool and really blend out that light. Okay, and that is all of our coloring though. We are all done. So not too bad for the coloring. Leaves it really cute though. Okay, let's start assembling this card. So I have a couple pieces of DSP. This is our Bermuda Bay piece, and I have the measurements listed on my blog. This is 2 1/4 by, let's see, 3 5/8, and that's going to go right on our Bermuda Bay piece, which, where did it go? Oh, here it is. Hello. This is going to go right on the bottom of our Bermuda Bay piece. I just wanted to break up the bottom a little bit, so I thought the DSP and the colors were a fantastic way to do that. And then I just have a small piece of the polished pink DSP from the In Color pack too. All right, just unearth this. Let's do this real quick. This is our pool party. And because these images are just stamped right on the circle here, I wanted to give them a little bit more dimension. And so I'm going to go around them, just the outside of them, with this pool party. And that's going to give them lots of shading and shadow. I'm not going to blend anything out. Just going around the outside of them. Just like that. It'll dry a little bit lighter. I don't know if the camera's picking up that color, but it really just makes them pop off the page a little bit more. Instead of a flat image, we now have this like dimensional image, even though it's still flat on the card. Okay, so just right around the outside of the image. And I like using Pool Party for this, but you can also use any of our lighter colors. You can use Soft Sea Foam, you can use the Mint Macaron, any of those. All right, so it really makes a difference. Okay, that is all with the coloring now, I promise. Okay, our card base, like I said before, is polished pink. It's just your regular 8.5 by 5.5 card base scored at 4 1/4. All right, let's get this all adhered. We're going to start with our DSPs. See, I'm going to stick this down. I'm just using our Stampin' Seal. This is just going to go down there, and it fits just right inside those stitches because we cut it at that 5 3/8 inch. Again, all the measurements are on my blog tomorrow morning. 3/8 inch, and then this is just going to go under our greeting. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive just under our greeting. We're going to trim this to the length of that. So I'm not too worried about how long it is right now, because we're going to trim it all up. All right, now on this card, I added some baker's twine that I had colored with Bermuda-based Stampin' Blends. But this one I thought, let's go with the crumb cake twine. This is from the Essentials pack, and I'm just going to tie this around. It's just going to kind of hook onto that DSP right there. And I'm going to need some more. This is the crumb cake. I thought that would pull in nicely with the cow there. Okay. I have way too much baker's twine over here. That's okay. I'd rather have too much than too little. I want to tie this first before we adhere it to the card, because once we trim it, it'll be a little bit harder to tie. So I'm going to tie it in a knot, and that will give me the stability to tie it into a bow. There we go. I like both of them. I like the crumb cake baker's twine. I like the colored white baker's twine. You could also use linen thread. This baker's twine is from our Essentials pack, which comes with vanilla, white, black, crumb cake, and I think there was one other color, but I'm out of a lot of the colors. I have another order of the Essentials baker's twine coming to me, so, but it is a fantastic, if you love baker's twine like me, this is one for you. Okay, so we have our little bow on there. We're going to stick this on with dimensionals. Let's see. So we're going to stick some dimensionals on the back of this. And, all right, this is just going to go right across here. We don't want to cover up this little hole, this little finger hole here, because that's going to help us turn the wheel. So we don't want to cover that up. You know what? I shouldn't have tied my bow. Okay, we're going to take that off. We're going to do a different bow. All right, we're just going to trim these edges. I thought my DSP was cut to size, but it was not. If your DSP is cut to size, then you could absolutely do that. I think instead, we are just going to tie a bow. I'll save that for another one. I think we're just going to tie a bow, and I'm just going to stick a bow on there. So you can do it however you want. And that baker's twine, you can leave it off. Do it however you want. So the bow here, where's my scissors? Okay. I'll move that out of the way. Let me grab a blue dot. Some from a paper pumpkin kit. Stick that on there. All right, and once we get this assembled, I'm just gonna stick that right there. Perfect. All right, life is better with you. All right, so we have the front completely assembled. All we need to do is add our little spinner piece. So for that, we're going to use our new round and square brads. These are in the new catalog. Fantastic. There's different sizes of round ones, different sizes of square ones. They come in black and white, so they match everything. So I'm just going to take one of the small square ones. I'm going to stick it through the front of our front piece, stick it through our wheel, making sure all of those images are showing on the front. We're just going to close that brad in the back. And this will spin. Isn't that cute? All right, we are ready to put this on our card. Now, we're going to add this with dimensionals, but you need to make sure that none of your dimensionals are touching that wheel. If any of your dimensionals are touching the wheel, it's going to prevent it from turning. So keep all of the dimensionals away from the wheel, but put enough on there that it's not going to come apart. All right, I'm going to stick this onto our card. Just kind of line it all up. Fantastic. All right, guys, one more little thing that we need to add. We just need to add our arrow. Seriously, you could just spin this all day long. Isn't it adorable? Okay, we are going to add our arrow. So let's get that bigger one out of here. Just use my take your pick tool, pop that out. And we are just going to add, now you could, if you were smart, I would have added a dimensional, or not a dimensional, an adhesive sheet on the back of this, but I forgot about that. So we're just going to use some liquid glue, just kind of swiping it along here. And this will just go right on the side here. Because it's that same color, it's that polished pink, it's just a little bit darker, so you can see it stand out there, but it's not so distracting. And that's it. That's our card. What do you guys think? Isn't it so, so cute? I just love it. Y'all have to tell me which animal you like the best. It's so cute. I love it. So let me know if you guys have any questions. If you're watching this on Facebook, I'd love it if you shared it with your friends. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can order and shop my online store. Use this host code this month. When your order is over $50 or more, you're going to get a free make and take kit. I have a PDF with 3 exclusive projects that you'll be sent regardless of the size of your order, but when your order is over $50, you get a free make and take kit with that PDF. So that is all for today, guys. I will be back next week, as always, with another fun project. Next week, I think we're going to be doing a 3D project. We'll do a little box. I have some really cute ideas with the peach suite, so I hope you guys join me next week. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.